following Gilbert Arenas' arrest by police on Wednesday for his involvement in an alleged illicit gambling operation. Boosie Badazz has defended the former NBA player. He rented out his Encino estate to host high-stakes poker games, according to the indictment. This Gilbert Arenas charges burlesque, Boosie wrote on X. He set a poker game at his spot and won off the hands played. WTF. That's the same as getting a cut off a dice game. That's at your home, and to millionaires, that's a cleaning fee. You know how many successful athletes, rappers, coaches, businessmen, and women call their friends over to feckin' gamble. These are ex-professionals who enjoy gambling as a hobby. This been going on since the early 1900s. He continued, this is another tactic to take us down. And I'm not racist, but they not go lock up a white athlete entertainer up for playing poker at his damn house with his millionaire friends. His name was on a poker table. G for them be house decorations. Every poker table I've saw at a house had their logo or name on it. And all the facts you fight this bro. Police detained Arenas in Southern California on Wednesday. By that night, he paid his bail and was able to get out of jail. Sharing a video of himself leaving the courthouse on Instagram, he wrote in a caption, "And back on the block like it's hot. This ain't got shit to do with me, just rented the house. Wasn't a part of the festivities." Edge snitching Gil, coming soon. Law 51-0, the Mayweather of court. The indictment alleges that the car games took place from September 2021 to July 2022. At Arenas' direction, Arthur Katz, 51 of West Hollywood, staged the mansion to host the games, found co-conspirators to host the games, and collected rent from the co-conspirators on Arenas' behalf. A press release from the Justice Department alleges. Altogether, authorities are charging Arenas with 1 count of conspiracy to operate an illegal gambling business, 1 count of operating an illegal gambling business, and 1 count of making false statements to federal investigators. If convicted, he will face upwards of 5 years in federal prison for each count. Following a 2022 lawsuit decision, Dame Dash has openly addressed a court order compelling him to turn up assets worth about $800,000 to filmmaker Josh Weber. The co-founder of Rockefeller dismissed worries about his financial situation and brushed off the legal setback in a recent interview with The Art of Dialogue. "I don't have much in my name," Dash said during the interview. "The companies I had to give up don't even make money. They've been inactive for years." He went on to downplay the court-ordered losses, adding, "In any real businessman's world, that's a win." The outspoken entrepreneur also criticized those who have publicly speculated about his finances.
So instead of people celebrating the genius of what's going on, they look at it a different way. But at the end of the day, people celebrating my bills is, to me, an honor,
he said. He then offered a blunt opinion, suggesting that men who fixate on other men's financial troubles are behaving inappropriately.
That people are worried about. I have such an expectation for years of having such an enormous amount of wealth that if, let's say, a judgment doesn't get paid, or taxes, someone thinks that reflects on my personal business acumen or how I've mismanaged money. But to me, any dude, regardless, that talks about another man's pockets is gay. Because there's no reason for a man to be worried about another man's pockets unless he owes them money. A woman I can understand because they want to know how they're going to be taken care of. But I've always said it, a man worried about another man's bills and pockets like worrying about what's behind that man's zipper. So I'm not answering really any man asking me about my bread because I consider it not the most masculine thing.
A federal judge said Tuesday, June 9th, that Damon Dash must relinquish full ownership of many businesses and film copyrights after the hip-hop entrepreneur failed to pay a court-ordered. U.S. Magistrate Judge Robert W. Lehrberger's decision requires Dash and his business Poppington LLC to relinquish ownership of Dash Films Inc. and Blue Rock LLC and BlackRock LLC, as well as stakes in 1996, Songs LLC, Lebanon Improvements LLC, and Ocean East Improvements LLC. Additionally, Poppington is required to give up the copyrights of a number of movies, such as Honor Up, Too Honorable, We Went to China, and Welcome to Black Rock. Unless Dash objects before June 16, 2025, the U.S. Marshal will auction the assets within 180 days. Any money left over will be given back to Dash after the proceeds are utilized to settle the outstanding judgment. This legal setback comes after Dash forfeit his 1/3 interest in Rockefeller Records, which was put up for auction, but didn't help the plaintiffs because of other unresolved government charges. Dash is suing Weber and Muddy Water Pictures for allegedly violating their copyright and causing slander. After losing the case, Dash was forced to pay $117,184.70 in legal expenses and interest, in addition to $705,400 in damages. After Dash disregarded the initial ruling, the plaintiffs asked the court to seize more assets. According to the most recent order from the judge, Dash and his legal team have 14 days to present ownership certificates and another 10 days to deliver signed assignments to the U.S. Marshal. Over the years, Dash's financial difficulties have been well reported. He has been sued for past business endeavors, tax debts, and unpaid child support. Despite his well-known history as a co-founder of Rockefeller Records, he told a judge in 2019 that he was broke and unable to fulfill court-ordered commitments. Dash was taken out of the movie Dear Frank, which is where the legal battle with Weber began. Even though DJ Academics and TDE don't get along, he couldn't miss Kendrick Lamar's Grand National Tour. The online celebrity recently gave fans a detailed account of his experience at the duo's recent gig in Detroit during a live feed. He claimed that because the audience's enthusiasm fluctuated during the event, he had trouble reading them. "Ow, the crowd is weird," he began, as seen in a clip shared by Academics TV. "What I mean by the crowd is weird is that they're mad selective when they sing along. There's other times I'm looking at them and they're dead silent. They're recording though, they're recording, but they're not singing along. And then there's moments that they're super hyped." Ack continued by complimenting Kendrick for the first 20 minutes of his performance, saying he liked it since the Compton musician kept hitting hits. He claimed that even though he doesn't know much about Caesar's music, he had trouble reading the audience throughout her part of the event. "It was high moments, dry moments. High moments, dry moments," he added. Academics went on to reveal that he bumped into Dave Free at the show.